Hello everyone! Today we're going to be jumping back into Historic Brawl with a Slimefoot and Squee Reanimator deck. Now Slimefoot and Squee is a 3-mana 3/3, and when it enters the battlefield or attacks, we're going to be creating a 1/1 green sapling creature token. Additionally, after Slimefoot and Squee has died, we can go ahead and sacrifice a sapling and pay 4 mana to return Slimefoot and Squee and one other creature from our graveyard to the battlefield. So this is going to be amazing. Not only are we getting around our command tax with that 4 mana ability to bring Slimefoot and Squee back to the battlefield, but we also get to take another creature with us. So, as you can imagine, at the top end of our deck, we have a lot of big creatures. One of the fun inclusions in this deck is I've actually added all of the new Titans. So we have Primeval Titan, Inferno Titan, and Grave Titan all together in this deck. So let's see how many Titans we can get out onto the battlefield today. Additionally, we need a couple of other things for this deck to function. The first thing we need, which is slightly different than the typical Reanimator deck, is a way to get Slimefoot and Squee into our graveyard. So for that, we have a couple of different sacrifice effects. We have things like Village Rites and Deadly Disputes, ways that we can sacrifice our creatures and draw some cards, or create a treasure and draw some cards and get some additional value that way. We also have some kill spells like Eaten Alive, where we can exile a creature, but we do have to sacrifice a creature or pay an additional cost instead. Being able to sacrifice Slimefoot and Squee is very important for being able to activate that Reanimator ability when we want to. Now, that being said, just sacrificing Slimefoot and Squee is not going to be enough. We also need ways to get our big creatures into our graveyard, so we do have cards like Faithless Looting as well. That's going to let us discard some cards. We have Bitter Reunion, letting us do the discarding, Fable of the Mirror Breaker as well. We have Mill on Ren and Realm Breaker, as well as Grisly Salvage, which we can also use to go ahead and get some of those big creatures into the graveyard. Aside from that, we have a couple of other high-value cards that are just going to help us get through that game, stop our opponent from getting ahead. We have some extra removal spells, some ramp, and that's about it. Now, if you guys have been enjoying my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on my latest videos, and if you do enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like. Let's go ahead and see how this deck does. Alright, opponent goes first, but this is going to be a decent starting hand. Fauna Shaman is going to let us get some of our big creatures into the graveyard and let us trade those for some other helpful guys that were some mana dorks, really, so we can fix some of the mana issues that it looks like we're going to be having. Again, we're not big in terms of mana issues here. One black or green land will fix things for us very nicely. Let's go Fauna Shaman. Ren and Realm Breaker will also do the mana fixing for us, since all of our lands will be able to tap for mana of any color. Alright, well, let's use this ability. And let's get Atali into the graveyard. What do we want to grab here? We have a couple of different choices. Honestly, I think we get ourselves a Goldhound here, since we can go ahead and cast that for the red. And now we do have enough mana for Slimefoot and Squee. Next turn, we can go ahead and put something else, maybe the big Vorinclex into the graveyard. Slimefoot and Squee, Nasty End could be really strong. But we'll see. Okay, Kiwi Archive. So we do have a free turn to cast our Slimefoot. We actually don't care if this gets killed by our opponent. We just need that one sapling. And we find a black land as well, so we can actually do this without having to sacrifice anything here. And we do still have the mana for Nasty End, but there's no real reason to go ahead and do that this turn. Sure. Back in the command zone you go. Unfortunately for us, we do have to pay the command tax here. But we'll just go ahead and recast the Slimefoot and Squee. And now that is about as good as that can go. We'll leave that in the graveyard. So now, next turn, we can go ahead and sacrifice one of our 2 saplings, get a Tali. Also, kind of a fun thing here. Gonna pick that, sacrifice this sapling. You'll notice they don't get to amass here off of that, and we've got a Sheoldred and an Ulamog. Gotcha, so Ulamog, let's go ahead, hit that, and that. Yep. Sacrifice Slimefoot and Squee. Get that back in the graveyard. Okay, yep. They amass, that's fine. And we've got it, alright. Alright, here we are on the play. Now, this could be keepable, but we're gonna take a mulligan, try and find something that's a little bit nicer for us. This is alright, so we'll go ahead and keep. I'm going to start with the Shire here. We are going to be playing very slow. Let's see, let's go with the Feeder. We definitely would like to grab a Swamp here. That's going to give us access to our black mana. Again, very slow start for us, which is going to be good for our opponent. But next turn, we'll be able to get Fable out. Okay, Jace, this is actually great. I would love to be milled.
Phyrexia's plans are already in motion.
Yeah, let's see if they hit any big creatures. So we do have a Sheoldred so far, that's pretty good. Let's go Fable. Go Takenuma as our land. I'd like to hold on to Boseiju, that's slightly more high value. See if they kill our goblin. Yeah, doesn't matter. So this is on attack that I interesting. Sure. Okay, that makes much more sense. Alright, discard 2 cards. Let's go get rid of Ulamog and the Explorer. Okay, Proving Ground. Play out Slimefoot and Squee. We're in a pretty good spot here. And now, if Slimefoot and Squee does die, we can get an Ulamog back onto the battlefield, which is good. We don't get his cast trigger, but a 10/10 with Indestructible that exiles the top 20 cards of your opponent's library when it attacks is pretty strong. Well, this is even easier for us. Leave him in the graveyard. Sure. Yeah.
You can be made to obey.
So we'll go ahead and play this out, and then Slimefoot and Squee, we're going to grab that Ulamog, sacrifice our Sapperling. And I think we're just going to go ahead and end the turn. Next turn, we can sacrifice Slimefoot and Squee. Oh, well, that's fine. Ulamog notably doesn't die here. Now, we are going to put him in the command zone this time, since we don't have the Sapperling to get him back. Have us mill some more. Okay. Titan of Industry and Grave Titan. Both 2 good hits for us. And we've got it. Alright. Alright, so here we are playing up against the Battle Mage Captain. Pretty strong commander. This is going to be a fine opening hand. We don't have the black mana that we want, but turn 1 Ragavan, I mean, it's pretty hard to turn that down. After that, we can play out Shigeki next turn. That should help us with our lands. Wow, opponent plays a wall. Honestly, not expecting the wall with Defender. Do we want... We'll lose the life. That's fine. Hang on to Boseiju for just a second longer. Not gonna attack into the wall with Ragavan here. That's absolutely wild. Symmetry Sage, sure. Okay, we'll play out Besaidu as our land. Let's go Ren and Realmbreaker. This is just gonna fix all the colors for our lands. Okay, Spell Pierce, that's fine. Yep, no attacks. End the turn. So our opponent doesn't have red mana right now. So let's just pass. Yep, that's fine. Let's activate Shigeki's ability. Now we'll replay Shigeki. No attacks, end the turn. Alright, yeah. The no red lands for our opponent is definitely going to be an issue. Let's go Slimefoot and Squee here. No attacks. We do have our Broodlord here, so it would be worth it to block with the Slimefoot. We can use Shigeki's ability here. Okay. Nice and simple. Yeah, let's go ahead and get our nice land. That'll tap for all the colors we need. Gonna go for Minds of Moria right now. Move to combat. We're gonna swing with Slimefoot. See what our opponent does. Just blocks with the wall. That's fine. We still have our extra Saproling. And I think we go for Shieldred here. Oh, and we get it, so let's play out Shigeki as well. Now we're gonna be able to start pressuring, and we've got it. Alright. So, opponent going first. We have some decent lands. This actually looks pretty okay, so we'll go ahead and keep this. Playing up against Inga and Essica. Okay, gonna go ahead and start with the Courtyard. And let's grab ourselves a green land. It's gonna enable us to have the double green for the evolution. We do definitely want to find a black land here. Perfect. Let's go ahead and play Stitcher Supplier. Okay, now we have Shieldred in the graveyard. It's gonna be pretty great for us. Next turn we go Slimefoot and Squee. Following turn we can Eldritch Evolution, get something pretty decently large. I want to save Stitcher Supplier as a blocker for Inga and Essica next turn. Let's go Pathway like this, Slimefoot and Squee. No attacks, end the turn. So now we're actually in a pretty good spot. I have a couple of different options for next turn. Silverback Shaman, or Silverback Elder, the other one. Let's go ahead and play out the Shire first. Now, I'm going to attack with Slimefoot and Squee. First and foremost. That gives us the Saproling, and if they did choose to block, we would have had some extra value. Now, let's go Eldritch Evolution, sacrificing Slimefoot and Squee. We're going to decline, leave that in the graveyard. Okay, just get some treasures instead. I'm actually okay with that. Thoughtseize. How much mana do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7? So they're not in Omniscience range. They could be in Vorinclex range. I don't particularly care about Make Disappear, so let's go ahead. Get rid of the Vorinclex. Yep, that's good, so no Vorinclex out of our opponents. Sure, yeah, Rexage hit a treasure. Makes sense. I'm also not scared of Omniscience when our opponent doesn't really have cards. Yep. Managed to get the treasure token. They are going to have to start dealing with Shieldred next turn, once we have our Slimefoot back. Alright, so now we block the 5 damage. Mill some more, see if we get anything better. We do not, but that's okay. Okay, Slimefoot and Squee. Shieldred. Sacrifice the Sapperling. And let's go Riveter's Overlook. Let's get a black land that doesn't hurt us every time we use it, and end the turn there. They'll have to sacrifice one of their creatures. My guess is it's going to be the Llanowar Elves. No, it's going to be the Rex Sage. Okay. We might see Omniscience here. Okay, yep. Elder, just doing some ramping. Drawing a card. Augur Bottom, yep. Alright, now we have some much better hits. So now let's go ahead and move to combat. Let's see. I think we just attack with Slimefoot and Squee. Yep. Let's see if they decide to kill it. We're going to be sacrificing it anyway. Do we want the card draw, or do we want to search for something? Honestly, I think the card draw is going to be fine for right now. Decline. Probably going to counter, but we'll see. No, looks like we're good. Let's bring back Slimefoot and Squee, and let's grab Vorinclex. Grab these two. Now we can use the treasure for a Gilded Goose here. But I actually don't think we will, and I will instead discard a Titan of Industry. Now I think we... Nope, they want to keep the Llanowar Elves. I guess they're afraid of me destroying their commander. That does kind of make sense. Arboreal Grazer, sure. And this Shieldred is going to be giving us some insane value here. Titan of Industry is going to be huge for us. Okay. Yeah, let's grab our Titan. And let's go make a Rhino. Put a shield counter on our Shieldred. We find a Tendershoot Dryad. Let's go Hero's Downfall on their commander. Right off the bat. It's going to be a strong start. Yeah. So we're just gonna go ahead and pay for it. No reason not to, really. Proving Ground. Now let's take a look, see what we've got here in our graveyard. I think it's just the Shieldred that we can get back, so I do want to swing with the Stitcher Supplier. We can swing with Shieldred because of that shield counter. We can just go ahead and swing out. Really no reason not to. Okay, opponent takes it all. Gonna sacrifice the Grazer. Next turn, we have Lethal on board. So I'm curious as to what our opponent's gonna do here. Okay, gain some life, sure. Their blocks aren't gonna be looking great. Sure, Kennen, gain some more life. No, they're gonna ramp instead, that's fine. Yeah, they don't have to choose one that hasn't been chosen, so they could have gained extra life there. Okay, Galta is pretty good. Now, we have some choices. We can go Tender Shoot Dryad. We have Shieldred, gaining some life. So, I think instead what we do is we go Diabolic Intent, sacrificing Stitcher's Supplier. We're gonna use that to find a kill spell for Galta. Let's see, something cheap. I don't know, go for the throw. That feels good enough. Kill the Galta. Play a Forest. And then, I don't actually really care about doing anything else. I think we just swing out here. Yep, that's fine. Keep in mind, I only need to get them to 5 because I have a Shieldred on the battlefield. Yep. Okay, some solid blocks out of our opponent. Looks like we've got it, alright. Alright, everybody, I hope you enjoyed. So, as we saw, Slimefoot and Squee can be a very powerful commander. Right off the bat, you have that reanimation ability. The fact that that can't be countered as easily because it's an activated ability is also very strong. Now, hardest part about this deck, of course, is if your opponent is able to keep all of your saplings off the battlefield and stop you from reanimating with Slimefoot, right, you are going to run into some issues since you're not going to be getting that value out. But aside from that, we do have a lot of different options and a lot of strong creatures that can help us close out the game for us. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you have any ideas for another deck that you'd like to see me play, why don't you let me know in a comment down below. I'll see you all next time.